In this video, is this the last hope for Johan's title defense? Is Alex Rins staring into the face of a penalty later this season? Our deficit to others is not related to Brivio's exit, says Joan. And is Maverick Vinales coming home back to Suzuki? Jumping right in, my name is Sankalp and this is your Racing News Fix. This year, the reigning world champions Suzuki have found themselves with a bike which is a lot like the one from last year, while Ducati and Yamaha have taken massive strides with their bikes. And although KTM looked a bit shaky at the start, they did eventually find their way to the front. With Fabio Quartararo running away with the Riders' Championship and Suzuki way down in all three championship standings, it would appear that all hope is lost for both the Japanese factory and the reigning world champion Joan himself. However, midway through the summer break, both Alex Rins and Joan are cautiously hopeful for better things on the other side of the break. Speaking about their deficit, Alex Rins said, "At Sachsenring, we lost 0.4 of a second per lap. In Assen, it must have been 0.3 seconds. For us, it is not an easy situation because everyone else is using this system and we are lagging behind. We have been calling for technical improvements for a long time. Nevertheless, our bike works well and that counts. Theoretically, they will introduce the whole shot system at the second race in Austria. I can imagine that our test riders Sylvain Guntali and Takuya Suda will get their first impressions." What do you think? Can the introduction of the rear ride height device do the trick for Suzuki? I mean, it took Ducati 2 years to make it so good. Will Suzuki be able to match the quality of Ducati's ride height device straight away, or will they keep playing catch up since Ducati have a 2-year head start? Let me know in the comments below. For a rider of a non-concession team, a total of 7 engines are allowed to be used through the season, and the riders of teams with concessions get 9. If a rider is unable to finish the season with the allocated number of engines, they are required to take a penalty for each additional engine they add to the allocation. At the halfway point in the season, we have had 9 races and there are at least 10 remaining if the current calendar holds, maybe even 11 if Argentina is also added towards the end. While most of the riders are using 4 engines out of their allocation, 1 each from Luca Marini, Franco Morbidelli and Marquez have been withdrawn, meaning they cannot be used further in the season, leaving these 3 with 1 less engine to use. For Alex Rins, however, 2 engines have been withdrawn, leaving him with only 5 engines to play with. What makes it a bit worse is that the withdrawn engines were engine number 3 and 4, meaning they were the engines with less mileage as compared to engine number 1 and 2, which have been in use since the start of the season. This put Rins at a huge disadvantage, and given Suzuki's lack of horsepower, they don't even have the luxury to turn down the engines a bit to increase the longevity. This means Rins might be looking at getting at least 1 pit lane start in the second half of the season if he has trouble with any more of his engines. If that were to happen, Alex Rins will join the club of Loris Capirossi at Suzuki, Valentino Rossi at Ducati, Pol Espargaro at KTM and Maverick Vinales at Yamaha, who have taken this penalty in the past. Suzuki team boss since 2015, Davide Brivio, made a surprise switch to Formula 1 at the end of 2020. And this year, Suzuki is lacking behind the pack in terms of tech updates. A lot of us, including me, put 2 and 2 together and chalked it to the exit of Brivio. Joan on the other hand, disagrees. When asked if Brivio's departure has hurt the team more than it was leading us to believe, Mir said, "I don't think so. I think that for sure Davide was doing a super job here in Suzuki. But I think it is more what I said. They could not find an improvement, a technical improvement, a big step as the others. This doesn't mean Suzuki is not working. They are working. And Davide was not the one who was making the specs. So in this case, I think that it's more that we have to continue to improve everything because we have seen that the others did it in a better way." Initially being very heavily linked to Aprilia, Maverick Vinales' 2022 plans are going nowhere at the moment. A lot of ex-riders believe that Aprilia might not suit the riding style and sensitivity to changing conditions of Maverick Vinales. Among all this chatter, Motogp legend Kevin Schwantz dropped a big speculation by saying maybe Maverick will return to Suzuki. Let's think about it for a minute. Maverick Vinales was the first one to take Suzuki to the top step of the podium since their return in Motogp. Alex Rins, the senior of Suzuki riders, on the other hand, has been outperformed last year and this year is not going his way as well. He could possibly move to the Petronas Yamaha SRT seat or maybe even try his hands on the Aprilia project. I mean, we don't have to go back a lot in time to see the contracts being broken. We have Vinales and Yamaha, Lorenzo and Honda, Zarco and KTM in the past couple of years alone. Although it's pure speculation, do you think it's actually possible? We can only wonder. If you made it till here, let me know by hitting the like button. For more such content about all things MotoGP, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. Here are 2 more videos which you might enjoy. My name is Sankalp and I'll be back with another video very soon.